Today, we're diving into something I think we've all felt, the helper's dilemma. It's that moment when you pour your heart into helping someone and they just push it away. We're going to look at this through a psychological lens and figure out a way to deal with it, not just for them, but for you.
I mean, really, what do you do? It's the central question, isn't it? You see someone you care about heading down a path that you think is going to cause them pain. You offer advice, you offer your time, your energy, and you're met with a brick wall. It just leaves you feeling completely stuck, wondering, okay, do I keep trying, or do I just have to let go?
And let's be honest, it's more than just stuck. It's incredibly frustrating, and sometimes it's absolutely heartbreaking. It can make you feel so powerless, so unappreciated. But believe it or not, there's a way through this, and to find it, we're going to look at an ancient story that is a perfect case study for this very modern problem.
Yeah, we're talking about the Buddha and his cousin, a man by the name of Devadatta. Now, their story is this incredible, timeless example of the helper's dilemma, and it offers some amazing insights into how we can navigate these situations with a little more grace and, most importantly, self-reliance.
So let's set the scene here. Devadatta wasn't some villain from the get-go. This was family. He actually became a monk with the Buddha as his personal teacher, and for a while, things were going really well. You know, he was on the path, meditating, doing the work. It looked promising.
But that didn't last. As you can see here, as the Buddha's influence and fame started to grow, something inside Devadatta began to twist. He saw the respect his cousin was getting, and this toxic jealousy started to take root. He completely misunderstood what Buddhahood was. He thought it was a position of power, something he could just take for himself. And that wrong idea sent him down a really dark path, to the point where he was actively trying to harm the one person who was trying to help him the most.
And this is what's so extraordinary. This is the Buddha's response. Even after all the betrayal, his compassion never wavered. He said later that Devadatta was the person he was thinking about day and night, the one who was always ready to help. That's not just about forgiveness. It's a powerful model for maintaining care for someone without getting tangled up in their destructive choices.
And the really tragic part of the story, Devadatta only understood the damage he'd done and felt regret right at the very end of his life, literally on his deathbed. It's such a powerful reminder that you can't force someone to learn. You can't make them accept your help. Sometimes the lesson just comes too late.
So, what do we do with this ancient drama? How can we turn it into a practical strategy for our own lives? Well, the Buddha's approach wasn't passive at all. It was a masterclass in setting healthy boundaries and managing your own emotions. And from his example, we can pull out a really powerful prescription for self-reliance, which we can break down into 3 simple rules. So here it is. This is the framework. We start with protecting ourselves, then we move to patience, and finally we land on being ready to act. Look, this isn't about giving up on someone. It's about having a real strategy for helping that's sustainable, one that doesn't leave you as another casualty of the situation. Let's dig into that first step.
Okay, rule number 1, and this is the absolute foundation. Protect yourself first. From a psychological standpoint, this is all about boundaries. It's not selfish, it's essential. Think of it this way: you can't pour from an empty cup. If you let someone else's crisis drag you down, compromise your own well-being or your own ethics, you're not helping anymore. You've just gotten tangled up in the problem with them.
And you can really see the 2 paths here. On one side, you have this risk of just losing yourself, getting emotionally drained, and becoming part of the chaos. But on the right, that's the goal. That's protecting yourself. You hold on to who you are, which means you remain the stable, reliable source of help that they can actually turn to if and when they're finally ready.
And that leads right into our second rule, which is really a big reality check. You have to understand that it takes time. People grow and learn on their own schedule, not yours. You know, their own experiences, the way their mind works, it's all unique to them. You simply cannot force someone to have a breakthrough.
So, what do you do while you're waiting? Well, this isn't about sitting on your hands and doing nothing. This is a time for active practice. It's when you work on your own patience, your own compassion. It's when you try to maintain empathy for that person, just like the Buddha did for Devadatta, understanding their struggle even if you can't stand their actions.
And that brings us to the third rule, which honestly might be the toughest one of all. Always be willing to help. Real, genuine care is unconditional. It means that whenever that person finally hits their bottom or learns their lesson and comes to you for help, you're ready. You're there for them without throwing the past in their face.
This is where the really deep work comes in, because rejection hurts our ego, right? It's so natural to want to say, "See, I told you so." But real help, effective help, means you have to get past that. You have to be able to set your own pride aside and just be that open, non-judgmental lifeline they need in that moment.
Okay, so let's pull all these rules together. The path forward isn't about one big decision. It's a continuous practice. It's about cultivating a deep sense of patience that's really rooted in your own self-awareness and your own strength.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? For some people to learn lessons in life, it takes time. When you can really truly accept this simple fact, it's incredibly freeing. It lets you off the hook. You're no longer responsible for fixing them. Your job is just to be there.
All right, so what are the big takeaways to remember? First, your number one job is to protect your own well-being. You have to put on your own oxygen mask first. Second, remember that patience isn't just waiting around, it's an active practice of compassion. And finally, true help doesn't have an expiration date, and it doesn't come with an ego. It's timeless and unconditional.
And that leaves us with one last question to take with you. The next time you're in this situation, just ask yourself this: how can I shift my focus? Instead of needing them to accept my help, can I just focus on my own compassion? When you change that internal goalpost from needing their validation to simply practicing your own care, that right there can change everything.